stuck in his base trying to predict where the Mutalisks are going to attack him next. Finally cleaning up this harassment here in the top from Sen, so he's no longer going to lose a drone here and there that's ventured a little bit too far to gather minerals. Ooh, a lot of Phoenixes now coming in the left side of the map. This is going to hurt a little bit. He can even pick up some drones and do some counter harassment. And those Mutalisks got to be very wary of those Phoenixes, because if they engage, they could take heavy damage. He needs to engage with some sort of anti-air on the ground, like this Queen. Phoenix is roaming across the map, taking out overlords. This is great, because look at this. Sen is actually supply capped at this point, just because of these Phoenixes picking off overlords here and there. And also another side effect, I guess you would say, to picking off those overlords is that Zerg won't have as much map awareness as they would have, because those overlords are pretty much like little lanterns that the Zerg can hang all across the map and spew creep everywhere. And speaking of spewing creep, that's something that I would like to see Sen do a lot better. He needs to connect his main bases with these bases on the side with the creep. And we got some Mutalisks coming in the back again for Sen. This is going to catch KiwiKaKi completely with his pants down, and he's going to lose quite a lot of probes. The Mutalisks staying there a little bit too long, going to get caught by the Phoenixes, and those Mutalisks are not going to survive. And Sen knows it, so he's not even going to try to run away, because those Phoenixes can chase anything down, because they don't even have to stop to get their shots off. Again, I would like to see some creep tumors coming in, because that creep is just temporary at best. And we've got some more Phoenix harassment coming in from KiwiKaKi. Sen trying to get the Spore Claws, but look at all these drones that are getting picked up and sliced up by the Phoenixes. Hydralisks coming in and ushering away those Phoenixes. Observers still just chilling here, seeing everything that Sen has. I think it would be wise for Sen to invest in an Overseer and possibly pick off the Overlords, or excuse me, pick off the Observers across the map, because I'm pretty sure Sen knows that there must be Observers somewhere around his base checking him out. So Sen has moved on to the Roach Hydra unit composition that Zerg love to do versus Protoss players. It works great against Colossus Warp Gate, but with this many Phoenixes, you can easily pick off Hydralisks, easily go in the back and do some more harassment. Hold that thought. There's a little bit of engagement coming up here in the middle. There's no thermal lances, I don't think, on the there's no thermal lances yet, so that Colossus is not that strong, but there's some decent force fields, I gotta say, and those Phoenixes, like I was saying, they really just changing the flow of the battle, picking up Hydralisks here and there. So there were only Roaches versus Stalkers, and Stalkers do soft counter Roaches to a good degree. He managed, but there's just a lot of reinforcements coming in from Sen. Managed to take the majority of KiwiKaKi's army, but unfortunately for Sen, and I'm sure this is what he wanted, he didn't have quite enough to engage this third expansion that he must know is going up. Let's just take a look at his yeah, he knows about this expansion definitely, because he sees the photon cannon and pylon, but he just didn't have the troop left after that battle to engage that safely without losing all of his Roach forces. These Phoenixes are just chilling. I would like to see KiwiKaKi. I know it takes quite a lot of APM to keep them moving and just scouting around and harassing overlords here and there all across the map, but KiwiKaKi needs to do that, because he's going to fall behind to the 4 bases of Sen. His gold mineral expansion, though, is going to keep him a little bit sustained for the meanwhile, but if this gold expansion comes up for Sen, KiwiKaKi is going to fall way behind in terms of economy. Phoenix is doing a great job here and there, picking up drones, using that extra APM to put on the hurt. So that's pretty well done by KiwiKaKi. Do we have thermal lances upgraded for KiwiKaKi? Do we? Yeah, there we go. The thermal lances now looks like they are upgraded. So those Colossus are going to do great, and there are tons of Roaches out in the field. And there's even Corruptors now being made from Sen. Sen's realizing how much damage these Phoenixes are doing to his economy and to his focus more importantly. That's the one thing that Phoenixes can really mess you up with, is your focus. It just throws you off your just flow of the game. Gonna always have half a brain on those Phoenixes, but looks like Sen is feeling good enough to pump out a couple Corruptors to deal solely with those Phoenixes and Colossus. Actually, that's going to help, especially if you put some corruption on there and just focus fire that guy down. Those Colossus can fall really fast. Oh man, there's tons of roaches now out for Sen. Looks like he's going for Roach Corruptor versus the unit composition that we're seeing from KiwiKaKi. This could be really good. However, this Observer has just been seeing so much. It's got so much information in his database and is just relaying to KiwiKaKi's brain here. KiwiKaKi knows exactly what's up in terms of the Zerg army, but Zerg doesn't really know what's up in terms of KiwiKaKi's unit composition. So KiwiKaKi definitely has the informational advantage. However, we'll see if that can translate into a win this next coming battle, because Sen is moving in fast. He's got to be careful. He wants to engage with a nice concavity to engage all of KiwiKaKi's forces. He's going in the natural expansion. He's got to be careful not to get his units completely trapped in there, though. Huge battle going on. Corruptor's moving in, trying to take out some stuff, but there are tons of Void Rays. Oh my goodness. Those Void Rays are going to be able to clean up the roaches really fast without a fight. Nice force fields. Despite losing this third expansion, Sen is going to lose his entire army trying to get that, and that's going to... I don't know. This is a really interesting trade-off. Trading off economy for military advantage, and now KiwiKaKi really needs to engage Sen right now. He cannot wait, because Sen is running off of 5 freaking bases at this point, and KiwiKaKi has this window of opportunity to try to put some damage on Sen, but if he doesn't do that now and if he doesn't act fast, he could lose this window and just lose the game right there. Look at this, KiwiKaKi trying to get a double expansion up at the gold and at the 9 o'clock position, and 3 o'clock position, and KiwiKaKi moving in as well. He's got to take out this gold expansion at the very least, do a lot of damage, and it looks like he's going to be able to do just that. Corruptor trying to come in from behind and take out the Void Ray and the Colossus, doing some nice corruption. There's just so many Corruptors. Oh my gosh, that's just ridiculous from Sen. Definitely going to be able to wipe out the Air Forces and the Colossus, but at what cost? He's losing a lot of these Corruptors to the Stalkers underneath that he can't really hit. He did manage to get all of the Colossus, but again, we'll see how that really plays out. Some nice force fields trying to save what's left of his army coming in from KiwiKaKi. If he can get this third expansion and this 9 o'clock expansion going and in a pretty safe position, I would say that attack was definitely successful. But if he can't, I mean, I just don't know. We got roaches coming in to the 9 o'clock expansion. A couple Stalkers from behind trying to save it, but I think if these roaches really wanted to and focus this down, it can take this Nexus out with no problem. There we go. We see the sparkles of electricity and the boom. There we go. That's the Nexus falling. Observer gonna spot these roaches trying to burrow their way underground, and they're just gonna get stuck in this base in the 3 o'clock position. Oh, look at this. Overlord's just being a little BM and spreading creep exactly where KiwiKaKi is trying to mine. Let's take a look at the income tab. Oh my goodness, 2,000 income coming in from Sen, and he must have had more just a couple minutes ago because his main just ran out and his natural expansion is barely mining. But yeah, that's just ridiculous. 2,000 minerals per minute. And KiwiKaKi's just got 1,000. That's gonna hurt KiwiKaKi. KiwiKaKi's gotta make the most out of his money. He's gotta be like Jerry Brown and just scrimp against a that was a very local analogy. I should not have made that because we have many international viewers. You will not understand it if you probably don't live in California. So, leaving that thought off to the side, ROOTKiwiKaKi's just got to make the most out of his money at this point, while Sen has some breathing room to just throw his units across and try to do something just with brute force. And we even have Brood Lords now out on the field. This is ridiculous. Oh my gosh, KiwiKaKi's got to be so careful. But again, those Brood Lords are a little bit vulnerable. If those Void Rays really get at the Brood Lords, they can chase them down and just zap them and focus fire them down so fast, it's not even funny. So it's kind of back and forth, but again, Sen has the breathing room to just throw stuff at KiwiKaKi with brute force just because he has so much more income. Look at that. still, even with this 4th base now going up and running, actually this 4th base is not quite up and running yet. We'll see what happens once these probes really start mining, but looks like Sen is not gonna wait for that. He's gonna start engaging right now, and KiwiKaKi is really sweating, I bet, right now, trying to throw out the Guardian Shield, but I don't think it's not gonna do too much. Broodlords going in, and Broodwings just getting into the meat of KiwiKaKi's army. Some nice force fields siphon off a lot of the army from Sen, but these Broodlords just ripping it apart. KiwiKaKi knows it, calling the GG. Look at that devastation from the Zerg player. That is what you call the swarm. Alright, good game.